Hi everybody, this is Algebra 1, Lesson 20, and this lesson is about volume. And volume is talking about how much area is inside a three-dimensional figure. So if we have a three-dimensional figure that looks like this, so we've got a cube, we're talking about like how much air would fit inside this entire cube. So if it's three-dimensional, and we're not talking about, see, before we were talking about the flat covering like wrapping paper. We're talking about like how much water would go into a pool, or how much concrete do we need to fill up to make a slab of concrete, to make a cement block. Alright, so three-dimensional. So that means we're going to be multiplying three different things. Now the main way to do this is just going to be the area of the base times the height. So if the area of the base is going to be length times width, and then your height, you would multiply all those. So for a cube, you would do length times width times height is going to be volume. Length times width times height if we're doing a cube. But most of the time, they're not going to give you figures that are exact cubes. They're going to give you something else. So let's try 20.1. They're going to give you all kinds of crazy shapes. This one shows us that we've got a triangle like that, and this is 4 centimeters, and up and down it is 8 centimeters. But then it shows us that this is actually the base of a triangular prism, which basically is just like a piece of pie. If I can actually draw it, let's see. There we go. And it tells us that this figure is 6 centimeters high. Okay? So we have to figure out the area of the base and then multiply times the height. H, height. Okay? So the height is 6 centimeters, and then here's our base. Now, to find the area of a triangle, we're going to do base times height divided by 2. So 8 times 4 is 32. So 8 times 4 divided by 2 is going to be 32 divided by 2, which is going to be 16. So the area of our base is 16. Now we just have to multiply that times the height. So 16 times our height, which is 6. And that's going to be equal to 96 centimeters, and we always write this cubed, because if this was centimeters right here and this was centimeters right here, our answer would be centimeters squared. Actually, over here, centimeters squared, and this is centimeters squared times centimeters, so we're going to end up with centimeters cubed. Cube just means three-dimensional. Alright, let's try 20.2. This one, it gives you a figure like this, and it tells you that this is part of a shape that looks like that and that, and then it goes there, and then it comes back like that. So this is just the base of this three-dimensional figure, which would go like there and there, something like that. And it is 8 meters high, and this is 10 meters, and this is 6 meters, and this is 4 meters. So the first thing we have to do is find the area of the base, and then we're going to multiply it times the height. So to get our area of our base, we're going to cut this into 2 chunks. So now I have a cube, or a square, rectangle, whatever, and a triangle. So for my rectangle, I'm just going to do 6 times 4. So length times width. 6 times 4 is 24. Then I'm going to have to add that to whatever this triangle is. Well, this would be, let's see, if it's 10 all the way across and I've got 4 up here, that means this part's 6. And it's 6 high. So 6 times 6 is 36. Half of 36, because it's base, times height, divided by 2. So that's going to be 6 times 6 divided by 2. We can cancel here. 3 times 6 is 18. All right, so it's 24 plus 18. So this part's 24, this part's 18, and we just multiply those together, and that would be meters squared. Meters squared. I mean, we add them together. 8 and 4 is 12. 42 meters squared is the area of our base. Now we have to multiply that times the height. So 42 meters squared times 8 meters, which is our height, and we're going to get 336 meters cubed. Okay, so figure out the area of your base and then just multiply it times your height. Okay. This one is another crazy figure. So this one gives us basically a square there, and then it has a rounded side. And it tells us that our height is 10 kilometers. And I'm not even going to try to draw the three-dimensional figure. We know this is a base of a thingy that looks kind of like a loaf of bread. So I guess I'll try to draw it. It will go up like that. And then it'll go roundy. There you go. Three-dimensional figure that looks like that. And it's 10 kilometers high. And then it tells us this is 6, this is 5, and then this is 3 kilometers. Okay, so first we can figure out this one real easy. 6 times 5 is 30. Then we're going to have to add to that this half a circle right here. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. Pi is 3.14, and then we're going to multiply that times r, which is 3 squared. 3 times 3 is 9. And we're going to get 28.26, and then we have to divide that by 2 because it's only half of a circle, and we're going to get 14.13. So that's the area for this piece, this half circle, and this is the area for the square. Now we're going to add them together. And we're going to get 44.13. So 44.13 is the area of the entire base. So we want the area of the base times the height. That would be 44.13 times the height, which is 10. So that's pretty easy. Remember, when we multiply by 10, we just move our decimal 1. So we'll have 441.3 kilometers cubed. And that's the answer to that one. So find your area of your base, just like we've been finding area of crazy looking figures, and then multiply it times your height to get volume. Alright, this last one, well, there's 2 more. This one's a circle. It's a cylinder. Whoa. The bottom looked terrible there. There we go. Okay, and it tells us that our radius up here is 6. Alright, so we just have to find the area of the base. Our base is a circle, so we find the area of a circle. Pi r squared. 3.14 times 6 is 36. That's going to be the area of our base. Oh yeah, it told us that this was 11 high. Area of the base would be, this would be 113.04. And then we're going to have to multiply that times the height. So volume equals 113.04 times 11, which is going to be equal to 1,243.44. So we find our area of our base and multiply it times our height. Okay? And one last one. This one's actually a little easier. It looks like it would be hard, but it's actually really easy. The figure that they give us looks like that. And you're like, how am I going to even find that? But it goes ahead and tells us that this is 52 feet squared. And then it tells us our height is 15 feet. Well, we already know the area of the base. It tells us what that is. So all we have to do is area of the base times the height equals volume. So all we have to do is area of the base, 52, times the height, 15. Just multiply those two together, and we're going to get 780, and that's feet cubed. Okay, those are not that hard. Just the area of the base times the height. All right, try doing the practice problems. Pause the video, do the practice problems, and I'll come back and work them for you. All right, practice problems. A. This gives us a figure that looks like that. Has a rounded end, and it tells us the height is 10. And this is 4, and this is 10, and this is 2. Okay, so first we're going to say 10 times 4 is 40. That's easy. Now we need this roundy part, this half circle, and that's going to be pi r squared divided by 2, which will be 3.14, and that's 2, so r's 2 squared is 4. Divided by 2, we can go ahead and cancel here and make that be 2. 2 times 3.14 would be 6.28. So we're going to add our 6.28 to our 40. Okay, so 6.28 is that one, because it's pi times 2. And then 40 is inside of here. Now we're just adding them together. 4 times 10 is 40. 46.28. And then it tells us our height is 10, so we have to multiply this by 10, which is real easy. We just move our decimal over, and we get 462.8. And that one was inches cubed. Okay, that was A. So let's do B. Okay, so B is a cylinder. And it tells us that this radius right here is 6, and then the length is 20. So we need the area of the base, which is going to have to be, even though that this is tipped down on its side, if it was standing up, the area of our base would be the area of that circle right there. And then we're going to multiply it times our height. Imagine if that was tipped up. Like that. This will be 20. There's our 6. That's our area of our base times our height. Okay? So we're going to find the area of a circle with a radius of 6. So pi r squared. Pi is 3.14. And then r squared, 6 times 6 is 36. And that's going to be 113.04. And now we have to multiply it times our height. So 113.04 times 20 equals 2,260.8 feet to the third. Okay, hope everybody got that one. All right, and then one more. This is C, and it gives you a crazy looking figure, but it tells you the area of the figure is 50 centimeters squared is the area of the base. And then the height is 12 centimeters. That's the height. And we know we need to multiply area of the base times the height, so we just multiply those together. 50 times 12, which equals 600. And this is centimeters cubed. All right, so there's C. Okay, so your homework is going to be lesson 20. If you didn't send me your lesson 18 homework that I signed on Wednesday yet, that's fine. You can just bring it to class on Wednesday along with problem set 20. All right, see you in a few days.